Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Caron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com. What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Caron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com. Again, I always like to say thank you and big up to all the people out there that's logging in, tuning in, tapping in to hot7025fm.com, but mainly to Holla at the Homie, because I'm the Homie 360, the poet, and this is what we do each and every week right here on hot7025fm.com. Next week, we're going to pre-record, so I'm going to let y'all know about that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the show goes on. But again, all the people that's been sending me all your love throughout the week, again, salute, keep it coming. I appreciate it, right? But we got to keep life pushing in the positive directions. What's going on, Swan Shay? Long time no see, my girl. Al Rich in this bit. Always the homie, always tuning in and tapping in. Stitch Diego, congrats on your engagement too, dog pound. Appreciate you, Stitch. But yeah, so what we talking about this week, man? We talking about how you tell somebody that you cool with, that you want to take things to the next level, that you like them, that you crushing on them, or, without ruining the friendship, right? So that's a subject a lot of us have probably encountered from time to time. Maybe sometimes because you kick it with people that you familiar with, and you end up liking people that are similar to you, right? So a lot of times, they say your significant other is supposed to be your best friend anyway. So sometimes you fall in that situation with your best friend, just hoping both people like the same thing, and that way you can make it happen if that's the instance. But it don't always go that way. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We're going to talk about how, sometimes you may want to try to shoot that shot and it bounce off the front of the rim on your tail. So we got a lot of different directions it can go in, right? So first things first, we always going to dive into the letter. The letter read, what's up, Rod Davis? DJ counting this thing. What's up with you? My dog, Rod Davis. I told y'all about him a long time ago. He the one. What's up, Sapphire? He the one hit me with he helped me calm myself, right? DJ Count / AKA Rod Davis. He helped me calm myself one day. We was at work and I'm about to go in on somebody, and he walked right by me and whispered a sentence in my ear like a little chocolate Yoda. He said, "You fight fire better with water." And he walked away. Man, y'all don't know how many lives that has saved throughout the years. He told me that easy minimum 15 years ago. It didn't save counted lives, and probably mine. It probably saved my life. What's going on, Mrs. Willis? How you doing, sister? How you doing in this thing? But yeah, we're going to talk about it, talk a little bit about all that. But again, DJ Count, as always, I keep you embedded in my cerebellum because you gave me one, homeboy. You gave me some bars right there on that day. But like I say, I use that to help some of y'all out there in these streets and in this IG and Facebook land out here. All right, so let's dive straight into the letter. It says, "Dear the homie." I love when people with the homie. I hope this letter finds you well. I've been facing a situation lately that has been occupying my thoughts, and I thought you might offer some guidance. There's someone I've known for a long time, and I've developed feelings for them and that go beyond friendship. I've been keeping this a secret crush for a while now, and I'm at a point where I feel like it's time to let them know. The dilemma I'm facing is figuring out the best way to approach this. We have a good friendship, and I don't want to jeopardize that, but at the same time, I feel it's essential to be honest about my feelings. I've never been great at expressing emotions, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, and I'm afraid of making things awkward between us. Do you have any advice to tell someone that you've known for a long time that you want to take the relationship to the next level? Again, I value our friendship, and I want to ensure that if they don't reciprocate my feelings, we can still maintain a good connection. Any insight you could offer would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for time for reading my letter. Sincerely, I don't want to be friends no more. All right, that's real. Hey, what did it say? What'd you say, Courtney? They need to say it just like that letter. And you know what's so great? What's up, Dakarai in the building? They do. That's one of my advices. Like, you know and trust yourself, right? We're going to get in all that, Court, but thank you. You're right. They do need to say it just like that letter because that's it. You got to be open and honest. We're going to discuss all of that and how to figure out how to tell somebody that you like them, but y'all friends. Because, especially nowadays it's, it's a lot of competition as far as like getting people's attention long enough to let them know how you feel. But, and again, I don't know if this is a male or a female. I don't know if this is a male or a female because the person who did it, their Instagram wasn't, it was non-binary. So we'll just say that it just didn't give off anything. So, again, so I don't know if it's a guy saying like, hey, I want to get with my home girl, or if it's a girl saying like, hey, it's this dude, he my friend, he like my brother, but I kind of like him. Like, so this one's really a coin toss for real on this one, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? So first of all, what you say, Raj, said, please make sure the feeling is mutual. If not, it's going to be awkward. This is the truth. That's one of my main things. Like first things first, like this is a relatable situation. I'm sure myself and others out there have been through something similar because, again, you usually are attracted to people who are somewhat like you in some ways, but completely polar in other, right? So a lot of times that's your opposite sex friends at times, but again, I'm not knocking and saying it has to be a certain way, but usually that's your, friends that are just your homies that, like the homegirl to the guys or the homeboy to the girls. And they got enough to be like you, to be friends with you, but they have enough to be opposite of you to where you can kind of start gaining some sort of attraction, right? So a lot of us been there, caught in that like delicate balance between like whether risking friendship is really worth it or is a possibility worth something more, right? You gotta understand that. Like, first off, kudos for you even understanding and recognizing the fact that you needed advice about how to approach it, because some people just dive straight in. What's up, Nora Karma? What's happening with your little sister? You know what I mean? Some people just jump right in, 2 feet into the deep end, can't even swim, right? And that in itself, when you do it that way, blindly, and not knowing what the outcome is, that's a perfectly fine way to approach it. But just know in that instance that you don't have any defense against what might come back your way. This is what me and my wife were talking about, I think just earlier today, if not last night. I'm talking about like being in the water with sharks. Like I'd rather be on land with a cheetah, knowing I can't outrun a cheetah. No, I'm fast, but not that fast. I ain't that fast anymore since my surgery. But I'm fast on land, but I can't outrun a cheetah. But my advantages are more, right? In a familiar area. You can't just jump in the water with sharks and think you're going to outswim them. You're not a natural swimmer. Now, if I was a fish, okay, cool. I'd take my chance. Dart through. But on land, I'd rather be with a cheetah, right? So you can't just jump out there without seeking some type of advice on a situation like this. Is basically what I'm saying, right? So addressing the situation, the key here is like, one, honesty. Again, you got to be open, just like how you were with me in this letter. Same way. That's what Mrs. Courtney Willis told me. Say it just like in the letter. Say it with your chest. Be honest, because you were clear and open and honest about how you feel and what you don't want to happen. right? So that's got to be an understanding, like, you got to understand, you got to go with it, honesty. And then another thing is timing. Man, listen, you don't want to go with that at the wrong time. They crushing on somebody else, or, they think you trying to be advantageous. Timing can control a whole lot of stuff, right? You got to find the right moment to express these feelings. You can't just be like, hey, I'm in love with you. I just want to be with you forever, ever in my life. I know we homegirls, but I love you. No, that's not the route. That's not the route. That's a little scary. That's off-putting, makes people feel uncomfortable. It may be cute in its own way, depending on how you say it. Like, if you just stumble over it and you just figure the time is right to say it like that, then that may be adorable to the person. But at the same time, timing is everything. Right? You got to make sure that, you're not putting too much pressure on them. That's not what you want. What's up, Aries Blossom? That part, timing is it is. You don't want to put pressure on them. Because now you feeling stress and anxiety, they feeling pressure, and that's an explosive situation. Even if they may reciprocate your feelings, it may not bounce back the way that you thought it was going to bounce back to you because you're putting too much pressure on your friend. So my thoughts on approaching this is, first thing first, choose the right setting. Don't be just in the middle of everybody like, hey, can I pull you to the side? And everybody see y'all go to the side, and she probably wondering, or he probably wondering if you done told other people, but you about to tell them, and it look all secretive. You know what I mean? So find the right time and find a comfortable and private setting. Don't make it weird, but make it a private setting where y'all both can talk openly without the distractions of other people involving themselves in the situation, right? So that's the first thing. Timing. Find a private moment. It doesn't have to be all exactly. And don't wait. Exactly, Stitch. Don't waste time. Don't waste time, because if you tick, 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 time waits for no man. If you ever seen House Party 2, time waits for no man. You got to remember that. You know what I mean? So, don't waste time, but at the same time, find the right time. If it could be like, have over coffee, or, a spot where y'all normally hang out, because if you've developed these feelings for them, it's more likely than not that y'all have hung out alone together. And the only reason you're probably feeling that you want to tell them is because you kind of think they feel the same way. Most people wouldn't be like, I don't know how my other person feels, or I don't think I have an inkling of an idea of how they feel. No, you kind of think they kind of feeling you too, for the most part. But you just don't know whether it's just like, oh, that's my brother, or, oh, that's my sister, or, whatever it is, and they love you in that right, and you afraid to express your love for them in the romantic way. But again, most situations, your significant, what's up, Lolo? Most situations, your significant other is your best friend, or at least at minimum, one of your closest confidants, meaning you can confide in them anything or almost anything, depending on how you feel. I don't know what level of relationship people be at. I can't tell you where you need to be, what you need to do, and what time you need to be there. All I'm saying is, like, in a situation where, again, let's recap, we trying to find out how to tell somebody that we like them and we friends, right? So if you're trying to tell a friend that you like them romantically, you got to make sure it's somewhere where y'all both comfortable delivering and receiving what y'all have to say. Because again, you just like, we say with anything else, you got to give people their proper space to receive stuff. Just because you got it off and you giving yourself the freedom to get it off your chest, you also have to be respectful enough to give them the space to receive what it is, if that makes sense. Give them the space to receive what you're dropping on their plate. It may be heavier than what you think it is to them than what it is to you. So make sure that you choose the right setting. That's the first thing. Make sure it's somewhere where, they're not under that pressure of having to answer right away. But again, my second point would be, like we talked about before, be honest, but also be clear. It's cool to blurt out your honesty, right? You can say, this is how I feel, but you have to, what's up, Telly Wilson? Exactly. That is some of the in your music. But what was I about to say? So like you got to be honest, but be clear. When you open up, be sincere about your feelings. Don't think that you have to deliver them in a certain way. That's one of the biggest mistakes. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. I ain't gonna say they, I'm gonna say we, because I do it too. I do it, I've done it, I try to eliminate it, but we think for other people. And we think we know how they're thinking, so we try to give them the meat of the issue in a way that we think they want to receive it. Be honest about it. Be open. Be clear. Let them know that you value their friendship, but you started to feel something else. Start with that. Like, look, I value our friendship. Let's start there. Friend that I like, your friendship is valuable to me. And don't say but. Just say, and along with the value, I have begun. Because when you say but, that means that's an interjection. That means you're going to go the opposite direction. That means you're going away from the value, right? So words are everything. People can change their thought processes, their reception of something in one word or one pause or, one inflection in a certain direction. So be mindful of what you say. Say, I value our friendship. And along with that friendship, I have begun to develop feelings in another direction, a little something more. It's crucial to express yourself clearly without overwhelming them, first of all. Don't just drop it all on them all at once. You want to get it off your chest, but pay attention to, if this your friend and it's somebody you've been around, pay attention to how they're receiving it, right? Watch how they receive it. Check their body language. When the first things you say is like, I value your friendship. Open your eyes. I mean, don't look weird like I just did, but open your eyes and say, I'm watching how you receive the first part of this sentence. And along with that value, I started to say, I started to see things in you that make me feel even deeper for you, or my feelings have developed into something a little bit more than just friends. And then watch that. Don't go, go too deep into all the times you've seen them and all this. Not yet. Not yet. You got to crawl before you walk into this, right? Crawl before you walk. And you don't want to overwhelm them just because you yourself might get overwhelmed with delivering the message. Let's start there, because again, if you're unsure on how to deliver it, you want to make sure you're giving it a little bit by little bit. Deliver it in small pieces, Don't bring it all in one big ass box that they got to open up. And whenever you receive something in a big ass box from all the miscellaneous shipping companies, whenever you get something in a big old box, right, and you have to go through it, you never get a chance to immediately dissect what each item is, because you have to go through and figure out what's all in here. You have to unpack the box per se, right? So don't force them to have to unpack all of that at once. Give it to them a little bit by little bit. Hey, Carly, that's my birthday twin. Give it to them little bit by little bit, right? Don't just throw it all at them at once. So let them know that you feel in a certain way. And once you start to do that, you have to give them the space to be able to receive what you dropped on them. That might be heavy, right? Understand that your friend might need some time to process that information. And also in that space, that gives you room to be prepared for whatever answer they give back. So you can't just go in thinking like, just because I told them this, they're automatically going to feel the same way. Nah, bruh, or nah, sister, that ain't the case. That's not always the case. You have to be prepared for whatever response, whether it's reciprocated or not. So that in the space you're giving them, you're actually giving yourself similar space, in this conversation, giving them similar space in this transition of friendships, because all in all, they're going to wonder if their feelings aren't reciprocated towards you. They're going to wonder like, damn, how are we going to go back to what we were after this? You're right, Telly Wilson. A lot of people can't speak with their heart. They can't speak our hearts. It's hard sometimes to speak your heart, but sometimes your heart is telling you what to say. It's just we play a game of telephone. The heart tell you one thing and then you say it another way, you know? So like when you, and you know, a lot of times when you go off emotions and you speaking off of emotions without them being calculated, without your heart and your mind working together, then sometimes it doesn't always get translated in the same way because your emotional, you know, regurgitation may not be received as, you know, intakeable by them. You know, so you got to give them the space to decide on whether or not they feel the same way. What's up, Constance Isabel? You got to give them the space to receive that, right? So again, we're going to recap. So to go back to discuss what we're saying, right? We're talking about, for those of y'all that's just joining us, we're talking about how do you tell a friend that somebody you're friends with, that you starting to crush on them, or you've been crushing on them, or you like them in some way, right? How do you tell that friend that? So we started off talking about like you got to choose the right setting, make sure it's in a place where y'all both comfortable. Make sure it's somewhere where, you know, it's no distractions, right? Telly Wilson, not feeling to some may appear easier, just like the word fear. Because fear to me is false evidence that appears real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. So it may feel easier to not feel, but again, to make it be easier, you have to feel something. So you may be suppressing feelings just to get the easy route. So don't always go with the easier route on that one, brother. It says, does it really go back to the same if you turn them down? Lulu Tally, hey, I don't know if it can go back to the same, but I do feel, again, feelings again. I do feel, what's up, Alan Viberson? I do feel that if you tell one of your friends that you liking them and they don't like you too, if you tell them the right way, if you tell them with the right amount of respect and couth for the friendship first, respect the space of your friendship first before you even start contemplating the space of relationship partner. Oh, yeah, back at it, baby. Back like a pot of fresh good crack. What's this Dakari say? Dakari says, hey, what if it doesn't work in your favor? Can you go back? Oh, that's exactly. Y'all saying the same thing. Dakari said that over here on Facebook, and Lulu asked over here on Instagram, can it go back to being the same? I'm going to tell you like this. I've been in a situation similar to where one of my friends confided, like, she was kind of like, it was a while back, and I think more of the reason my response, because I was still out there in them streets at the time. So I really wasn't trying to be, booed up at the time with anybody. It wasn't dealing with nothing in my life, but me just trying to be me circa 2003, and they came to me, it was like, what would you think if, we tried something other than just being friends? And I was like, to be honest, because she was bad. I was like, to be honest, we would probably enjoy it in the moment. But the minute that, one of us started feeling somebody else, or we was, eyeballing somebody else, then the friendship would change. The dynamic would change. So we never followed through on that. You know what I mean? And I ain't talked to her in years either. I wonder if that ran her away. Nevertheless, I digress. But, you got to look at it like, sometimes, the dynamic of the friendship will change even if you do go that direction. So you have to be prepared for that as well. Along with the space you give them to receive it, that you have to give yourself the space to receive it also. Like, okay, what if he or she say yes? Then what? First, I'm going to stack my dough, and then what? Like, you got a Young Jeezy the situation, and yet creating gray area, gray is still a color. Sometimes the gray is the shaded area to where you can kind of, manipulate and see things. X-rays are gray. So X-rays can give you a better view sometimes. So that gray area sometimes is necessary there, Telly. You know what I mean? So like one thing you got to understand, like it may not go back to what it was either direction. And that's the plan, right? The plan is for this friendship to change to something other than where it is, to where you're feeling unsure which direction to go, right? So if they do accept, now you got to be ready for that. if they don't accept your advance, now you got to be ready for that. You say, I think I would be disappointed if my friend tried to shoot their shot. And especially, I mean, disappointment. I wasn't disappointed in her for shooting her shot. I was surprised because she knew how I was. You know what I mean? Like 2003, she knew how I was in '03, right? So, I was more surprised than disappointed. So I had to, Heisman her a little bit, like skirt, push her to the side, just a little taste, because I know that would not have been beneficial to our home relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we was cool, but you say, Rob, gray is still a color. Wow, it is. It is. I always got something. Exactly. Josh, she knew how I was. You know what I mean? So I wasn't disappointed in her. I was just more surprised. Oh yeah, and then Lulu, you've been married since like the last millennium, so I feel you. Y'all been married for a long, long time. Like y'all one of my couple couples. So y'all been married for a long time. Right. I'm telling you, hey, if I drop that jewel, you better scoop it up, baby. I'll be on here saying some stuff. What up, C Dot? You know what I'm saying? What up, TSU grad one? Jeremy in the building. But yeah, so sometimes let's recap. So to recap, to go back, like again, like I'm loving how Twin J in the building. Long time no see, my sister. When you got somebody that you friends with, and you don't expect them to tell you that they feeling you in a different way, it can be a few different ways you as the recipient of this news can be. Like it's so many different ways you can take this, right? You can be like, damn, because I ain't really feeling them like that, but that's the homie. I don't want to mess stuff up. But how do I tell them? How do I tell them this? So you, as the person asking this question, have to know that there's somebody on the other side who's taking in just as much as you let out. They're taking in all these things that you just let out. Now, don't get me wrong. You may get those occasions where they may be like, yes, I love you too. Perfect movie ending, right? And that's how it be sometimes. You get your perfect movie endings at times, right? But the ball don't always bounce like that. Y'all know I'm going to play angel's advocate and devil's advocate at all costs. I'm going to be objective, split straight down the middle. Because again, I never tell you what to do. I just give you options of what can be done, right? So with that being said, don't be afraid of the way you feel. Don't get me started. I got a whole poem about that. But don't be afraid of expressing how you feel. Exactly. Your besties do know a lot. KM White, you already know. That your best friends know a lot about you. So and that's the thing. That's the thing that surprises. We get thrown aback. Like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Because as a guy, like you got a homegirl, like you done been around and you done seen her dress and look good for dates with other dudes, or as a woman, you got a homeboy and that's your dog, but you see how good he smell. You smell him and like, damn, he fine. Like you be mad at the girls he be going out with, right? So we've all had these unclear, gray area thoughts in some way, shape, form, or fashion about somebody in our lives, right? Whether it's directly or indirectly saying that I want to get with them, that's being direct, or indirectly like, why is that person with that person? So those are the area, slinky that back and forth between yourself, like figure out which one is which, right? So it's like, you have to be able to give that space to receive it because you are giving yourself permission to deliver it, right? So be honest and clear. First, choose the right setting. Second, be honest and clear. And third, give them space, right? Now, what do we do after we do all of that? You have to be ready for any outcome. Just to piggyback off what we were just talking about, right? As much as we hope for the best and it's essential to like be prepared for any response, like if they share the same feelings, great, perfect, yes. You shot your shot, you Steph Curry'd that thing, right? Swish. But what if you brick? What if you, Mile High Barbie, what's going on, Chrysanthemum? Good to see you in the building, my girl. But what if you brick? What if you shoot your shot at the homie, at your homegirl, at your homeboy, and you brick? What are you ready for then? What's your rebound situation then, right? It's an understanding to maintain the friendship, but how can you do it without being awkward? Like, that's hard. Like, how do you not be awkward after that, right? And that all depends on your friendship dynamic. I'm not going to lie to you. That's all based upon how you feel about each other as friends. Like, y'all could be deep, like, I can't believe he asked me that question, friends. Or y'all can be early on friends, like, I've been waiting on him to ask me that question, friends. So you got to understand, would you say, Telly, but you can miss out by not saying anything too. You can. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the shot you're not going to make is the one that you don't take. So if you feeling this way, to anybody out there that's feeling this way, not just my writer, I don't want to be friends no more. So to anybody out there that's feeling this way, you have to be, you gonna miss the shot if you don't take it. So if you go for it, why not? Like, but be prepared for any situation. Like, a lot of people don't play chess, but chess is really like a thing you really can apply to life. You got to put your pieces in order to be ready for whatever the outcome of your move is. That person may have been waiting on you to say that just so they can shoot you down. Or that person may have been waiting on you to say that just so they can scoop you up. You never know if you don't ask, if you don't say anything, like, right? Because communication, y'all know I always say, communication is the number one tool to helping anything or anybody through any situation. If you can talk it out, you can get through it. I had a situation today dealing with the doctor's office, and they was trying to tell me some other stuff, and we had to have some words. me and my baby lawyer, aka my wife, we had some words with the people, and lo and behold, we got the situation handled. Because if you can talk it out, but it say, Lulu, being disappointed doesn't mean that I want to be done with the friendship. Exactly. That's good. I'm glad. It's like, damn. And I get the disappointed side too of it. Again, I'm always angel's advocate, devil's advocate. I see the disappointment like, damn, I wish they wouldn't have done that. Because now you kind of feel awkward as the recipient of it. I get that too. I get it. Sometimes you wish it'd be like, damn, why they do that? Or like, sometimes like, your friends get drunk and they get to asking you questions. What's up, Mier? If you can talk it out, you can walk it out. Exactly. You can. If you can talk it out, you can walk it out. You can walk through this situation together as long as you can talk it out. And that's what I feel that. You know what I mean? You have to be able to examine the gray area that you have in order to get down to the root of situations, right? Like I said earlier, Rod told me it was bars. And I said X-rays are gray and they make things clearer. So if you really get inside and dissect that gray area, that's you getting to the X-ray of the situation. That's going to bring things clarity. It's going to bring you so much clarity. And if you can talk about it with that person that you have these feelings for, if they're your friend, you can talk to them anyway, right? Because that's the only time we really feel apprehensive. Only time we doing a double dutch, only time we doing a double dutch is when it deals with somebody that we are connected to, tap, tap, tap. Somebody that got a connection to us, somebody that can whoop us, somebody that can help us, somebody can chant us on. That's the metaphor of double dutch in life. You be like, do I go in yet? I don't want to go in on them yet. But then you finally go in. Now you in, right? All my over 40 ladies out there that's doing y'all double dutch fitness things, salute to y'all. A bunch of y'all, especially it started down in Memphis, but a bunch of y'all that do. I know Nashville got a team. I know Phoenix got a team. But, but when you double dutching with your people, it's because they connected to you. It's because they have an effect on you, right? So don't just jump in. I always say don't just jump in, but at the same time, evaluate what's going on. This is your friend. This is your person. You know what I mean? This is a lot invested in this already. It's somebody who you care about. What you say, Royal Nelson? I always think transparency is best. Hey, I want to shout at the title. If you don't feel the same, I'm happy to just be your friend. I'm here if you change your mind. See, that's wipe your mouth, Pop. You out there spitting that game. He said, hey, I want a shot at the title. If you don't feel the same, I'm happy to be just your friend. I'm here if you change your mind. That's real. Put it on the table. That's no pressure. Again, earlier we talked about that. Try to minimize the amount of pressure you putting on your friend. Minimize the amount of pressure you putting on that friend, because if you got them backed into a corner, when people backed into a corner, when I'm backed into a corner, I'm coming out swinging, and I'm not happy about being painted and backed into that corner, right? So most people are the same. If you give them a chance to volley back and forth, you give them a chance to, as Royal Nelson say, if you transparent, be open. Like I said earlier, be honest and clear. Don't mumble. Talk about it. Speak about it. Keep it light, baby. Exactly. You know what I mean? Just put the ball in their court, per se. That's what that means. I put the ball in your court. That means I volleyed it back over to you. Or I volleyed it volleyball back. The ball is now in your court. Now, what are you going to do with it? But I'm not putting pressure on you to send it back. I just put it over there. Now, you can practice. You can think about it. You can, shadow box if you have to over there, but just what's up, knockout wood cuts, wood in the building. Sometimes you got to be able to get it off your chest, per se, because the 100% of shots that you're going to miss are the ones that you never take. You never going to make a shot that you don't take. So if you feeling froggy, jump. But at the same time, do it with some couth. Do it with the respect for the friendship that you have with the person first. That's the main thing. If you think your friendship can turn into a friend relationship, then you have to maintain the respect for the foundation of it, which is your friendship. So don't go in there just thinking like I can just talk to you any kind of way because you're my friend. And I can just expect you to receive this anyway because we're friends. Nah, player. Nah, play it. You got to go in there with respect for the friendship first and foremost, right? But, choose the right place to talk about it. We talked about that. Don't let it be any distractions around. But don't make it weird and awkward either. You know what I mean? That's more pressure. What's going on, Kay? How them boys doing? Tell Rob I said what up. Let it be known, like, don't want this be weird. Like, let me pull your ear, or like Royal Nelson say, like, let them know I want a shot at the title. Like, you the champ, baby. I want a shot. But if you don't feel the same way, I'm still here. I'm still your friend, but I want to let you know how I feel. I'm over here in my corner. Ding, ding. Call me. Call me when I get a chance at the shot at the title. If not, I'm just going to be over here in your corner. Yahari, what's going on with you, Vans? But yeah, so to recap, we talking about how do you tell a friend, like a true friend of yours, that you crushing on them? How you tell somebody that you cool with, that you want to be as smooth as Cool Whip? You know what I mean? Like, how do you tell somebody that you like them when y'all just friends? And again, I'm appreciative to anybody. My writer said their name is Don't Want to Be Friends No More. Not Don't Want to Be a Player No More. Don't want to be friends with you no more. They want to go to the next level. You know what I mean? What's that Trey Songz song? Because you don't want to be like that Trey Songz song. Man, I wish we never did it. Man, listen. Again, another story. Man, I wish we never loved it. Because then you don't know where to go if you don't have your homework done about how to handle the situation. You just say, what you say, Yahari? You just say, darling, and I think I'm sweet on you. Okay, babe, let me put them ugly faces on there. I'm not messing with you. You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't want to get in a situation where you regret doing something or regret crossing that line with somebody. So again, do your homework. And by doing your homework, I mean, maintain the respect for the friendship, right? While you're thinking about it, what to say. It don't have to be like a whole mathematic equation and schematics on how to talk. No, that's your friend. So talk honestly, but clearly. You know, it's crucial to express yourself. Because you don't want to keep, again, y'all know what I feel about the bottle, the shaking up pop, the shaking up soda syndrome, right? That's when you got all these feelings. Oh, you a 2-liter bottle. Somebody shaking you over the head. Shaka, 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 shaka. Then they just set you down. Now you sitting there with all this bottled up. So anytime it gets a chance to get out, it's going to get on everybody. And everybody don't deserve that. Everybody ain't worthy of that. Everybody not looking for that. So if you allow yourself, like, you know, the space to have clarity and honesty with your friend who you got feelings for, you know, it's crucial you give them the space, because it works on two ways. When you giving them space, if you allow somebody to wait over there on their side, that means you also have the same amount of space to, okay, I got it out. Now what? And prepare. And be prepared. If you ain't prepared, you better, while in that space, get ready, get ready, get ready. You know what I mean? What's going on, T. Michelle Fit? I've been missing my workout videos. I got to get out there. I got to get my burpees on with you. Your workout will be hard, girl. You be out there killing me. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? In that time, in that space you giving them, D-Hawk, what's happening out there on the road? Honk, honk for me one time. Be prepared for whatever response they going to give you. That space is your prep time, is your preparation space. That's your workout area. That's where you get ready to receive whatever their response is going to be. Because how optimistic and hopeful we all might be, things don't always go as planned. We know that. We grown-ups. We've had letdowns in life. You know, we've all had letdowns. And this could be a major one if you let it. If you let it be a major one, if you let it weigh you down by not being prepared for either way this pendulum may swing, if you let it, then it can be tumultuous to you. But at the same time, if you prep for it, then y'all can come out of this still on the other side okay. You don't always have to score. You know what I mean? Like, you may shoot a shot and then the rebound may get dunked by somebody else, or the rebound may get kicked back out to you to shoot another shot. That's another thing. Like, they may be somewhere in between receiving this. Like, they may not be like, ugh. They may not be like, yay. They may be like, They may be like this emoji. Emoji. You know how that emoji be? I love that emoji. You type in HMM, that emoji pop up on the side on iPhones. I don't know about your Android people. I'm just playing. I'm just green bubble hating. But you know, sometimes you know, people give them the space to be in between there. You know, because you may think you feel a certain way about them, and it's really just partially of what you may try to deliver in one big block. You know, so give it to them bite by bite, little by little. That way it's less pressure on them and less anxiety on you. Because when you tell somebody a whole bunch of stuff, you waiting on them to finish, like, how what are they going to say? What's my results? How do I get this back? You waiting on that. So if it's a bunch on the plate, then you got to wait on them to digest it all. Then they'll give it back to you. But if you give them a little bit by a little bit, they can tell you what it tastes like. What's to say? What you say, Royal? And there's something to be said about truly wanting your friend to win, whether it's with you or not. Yes. Hello, McFly. Say it again, Sam. He said, and there's truly something to be said about truly wanting your friend to win, whether it's with you or not. Meaning, so even if they don't want to be with you, you got to be okay with saying, okay, bet. The next person you do want to be with, I'm going to big up you. I'm still going to support you with whoever you want to be with, even though it ain't me. Even though it ain't me. That, you said a word right there. You said a word right there, Mr. Nelson. Truly wanting your friend to win, whether it's with you or not. And that goes a lot of different ways. That ain't even just in this friend relationship type thing. That means, like, if you and your friend could be shooting for the same thing in the world, they may get it and you may not, but you still, if that's your friend, you're going to want them to be winning. You want them to be winning because you want them to want you to be winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I said that in one of my poems, like, you know what I mean? Do you root for me in my absence, or do you adversely hate on me on the low? I need to know. You know, so if that's truly your friend, you want them to win, whether it's with you or not. That was a word right there. See, I love having my other life coaches tune in and tap in with me, because y'all be saying some ish, bruh, and sisters. You know, it's the truth. It's true. So with that being said, like, to go back and recap this whole today's story, right? If you're trying to figure out how to tell a friend that you like them. First and foremost, as always, I'm talking about communication. You know, the communication is the key, but in that communication, you got to choose the right setting. Make sure it's no distractions, right? You got to be honest and clear. Don't just be mumbling over, well, I think I like you. No, tell them how you say it with your chest. Tell them how you feel. Give them the space to receive it, which also gives you the space to be relieved about getting it off your chest. And then finally, be ready for any outcome. Meaning, if they choose to be with you or not, be still willing to be their friend and wanting them to win, like Mr. Nelson just said over here, right? So, again, thank everybody for tuning in and tapping in to Hollin' at the Homie. I appreciate y'all as always. Again, next week is going to be a pre-recorded show. I'm going to record it tomorrow, but still going to be a live topic. I'll be on here live watching it. But I'll be on Instagram live, but it'll be a pre-recorded show on Facebook next week. So, but we'll still be tuning in and tapping in on Instagram live, and that's _360 the poet for all my Facebook people who don't have it. Huh? Oh, I still got. Oh, okay, my engineer let me know I still got some time. Still got some time in here. So they keep me honest. I love them, right? My BTS people make sure I got getting my words out. Again, so. To recap, make sure that you remember that communication is the key, right? It might be nerve-wracking, but, unless you take that leap, you won't even know what it can get out of that, right? If things don't go as expected, at least you won't be wondering what if. Because what ifs are the worst place to be. I wonder what would have happened if, that's my thing. So, again, that's pretty much all we have time for today. Like, if you have a situation, and you need some advice, again, you can always, exactly, Lulu, take the risk. Whether you risking disappointment, shock, awe, take the risk. Shoot your shot. Shoot y'all shot, everybody. Don't be afraid. Even if you got to breathe it, bring that elbow in, bring it up, let it out. Make sure that's your homework. Get it together. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Give them the space. Be ready for the outcome. That's like shooting a shot. Anybody that got a jump shot out there, know you got to bring your elbow in first. That's your first step. That's your first step. You know what I mean? That's how we going to do it. And that's choosing the right place to be. So that elbow, choosing the right place to be, right? Then you got to be open and clear. I'm aiming this elbow at what I'm going at. There go the rim over there, right? Then you got to be giving them the space. Let it go, still in line, and be ready for the outcome. So that's all it is. Just like shooting a jump shot, shooting your shot in life. Give people the space, make sure it's the right setting, be open and clear, and be ready for whatever the outcome is, right? So again, I've been your host as always, 360 the Poet. Hit me up on 360thepoet@gmail.com or holla at the homie at gmail.com. Count the cost. Yes, you got to count it. Count it. So HOLLA. ATTHA HOMIE. Again, I want to thank Royal Nelson, Telly Wilson, Miera Dene for kicking in, KM White, also Dakari, also my dog Rod, big aka DJ Count, Lulu Tally. Appreciate you for always tuning in and tapping in, and for of course Lucy Lowe and the rest of my gang over here on IG, Dennis Hawk. Appreciate all y'all again. Until next week, I've been the homie 360 the Poet. I'ma holler at y'all in a minute.